Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's well. I think Ron was the only one in here. I didn't see Nikki's, who was already gone. Did she pop in earlier? She must have. So, and I don't even know if Ron's still here. One person's here. Anyway, good morning to Ron. How are you, brother? So, I started a little bit early. I still have a lot of stuff to do. Let me bring up the land. So all we have to do is the front. He was supposed to be here yesterday. Him being, hey Andy, how you doing? He was supposed to be here yesterday to for us to put together a price on the front part of the fence, and he didn't show. So maybe he'll show today. I don't know. I paid him for the other part of the fence, so he might not show up for a while. But had a bunch of good stuff happen. Had to work on the new solar system for the main house. Couldn't quite get through to the installer, the solar man. Like I said, and the batteries came, and the batteries said on them, they said 40 amp hours on their front panel. They were communicating with the Lux Power 12 kW inverter, and that was saying 40, and they weren't charging the batteries correctly. Hey, Jay. And so I got on the phone with the battery people. They gave me the Bluetooth password, and I got in there, changed there to 314 amp hours each. And man, I was really, really happy because we're overcast now. We're not. I've got the app running on my phone right down here, and it's overcast here. It's the wrong time of year. I'm guessing what I'm seeing right now is we're going to be somewhere. The cheapest that I saw was like 4,500 or something. I think we're going to be in the 25 to 3,000 baht range, and I'm going to say with pretty good. Um, I'm real optimistic that I'm going to see some zero bills come. When we get to the sunny time of the year, and right now it's not. But why I say that is the batteries charged up. Hey Ralph, the batteries charged up to 82%. Yesterday they didn't even get up to 50%. So like maybe 9, 10 o'clock at night or whatever, the battery was gone. Comes down to 15%. It saves that 15% as like a backup UPS type thing to keep. You got an hour, he said, or so. But what I saw was the figures that I came out in my mind from in the past. Why I thought that something just isn't right. And I watched it that first day when I got that in there. The batteries got up to 82% before the sun went down, and it started sucking stuff out. And I changed it because I wanted to run the battery down because I wanted to see because it was only 82%. And I ran it down to 5%. I had to change a deal in the parameters on it. And it ran all night long until the sun came up. And it was only at 82%. And granted, I ran it down a little bit, but I'm going to guess my house, when I was watching it, I was up every hour on the hour pretty much that night. And I thought it was going to be like 3,500, but it was only like 2,000, 1,800, 2,500, varying depending if the refrigerator came on or whatever. And my air conditioner runs all night. And I know that my mother-in-law and father-in-law use it, and so does Sim. So anyway, it was in my mind, if the battery's 100%, it's going to run the whole night long and have 30, 25, 30%. And then if the sun pops up like normally here in Thailand and we have no overcast like this and strong running, that battery's going to be up to 100% by noon, 1 o'clock, and I'll be watching it, of course. And that time of year, I don't think I'm going to, I think I could see, zero, 500 baht. Well, I'm not going to see zero because the inrush on even this 12 kW uh, inverter can't take the hot water heaters. It overloads the inverter. So what I did was I had them take those off, so that our three hot water heaters are for our showers and stuff, are going to be on the grid. So it's always going to have something on there, 500, 800, 1,000, whatever. If I could stay at the 2,000 baht deal, I'd be happy. I've got a firm believing that, Ubon is going to be zero goose eggs. So, hey, Craig, how you doing? Yeah, it rained last night here, but it's been pretty good. It shows rain all day. My wife, I said, we're still in the. She said, no, the rainy season's pretty much over. I said, no, it's not. I don't think the. My wife, maybe she misunderstood me. Craig would know. When does the rainy season pretty much officially end? I was going to say like October, right? Something like that. Anyway, when we get to that point, I think it's going to, if I was just running my air conditioner, like in Kenny's situation, what he's got with the 400 amps and stuff, I think he's still going to see goose eggs uh, on his bill. During the day, my mother-in-law's cooking rice, and they got pumps on watering. Of course, Kenny does too, but pumps on water and stuff like that. It doesn't have time. Zero usage during the day from the grid, but when the battery's just not getting charged, so there's just not quite enough sunshine. But I believe that when we get into October or whatever, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So I'll be happy. Uh, I haven't quite. I have to go back over and learn this thing myself. It's very complex for me anyway. This 12 kW inverter with the dual MPPT controllers and the dual strings on it's got a lot of stuff that I can learn off of YouTube and in the manual and stuff. So I'm just going to make small changes in it a little bit at a time. Right now, I feel comfortable with the way that it's set up. But yeah, through September, okay. Um, that's what I thought too. I think she just didn't understand what I. Every once in a while, I get that, that look, like, and I go, "Do you understand what I said?" Yeah. No, you didn't. So I can tell, but I think she just misunderstood me. But I'm really happy, man. I thought, because I started doing the calculations on the batteries and what the wattage I thought I was going to use into the 600 and what would it be, 628 amp hours and stuff like that. And it was coming, if I was going to be using 3,500 watts all night long, through the whole night, I would still be at 11 hours of that. And now I see that from what I saw the other night, I was below that. Now, maybe when the youngest is home, when Shushu's here, maybe it might be creeping up on 3, but I still should see 10 hours on the battery. Oh, bear let out. Out. Oh, Bear, you can stay. My knee. God damn it. Out. 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 Boy, that I gotta do something. That knee hurts like a sandwich. I couldn't even push the chair with that leg. I can't even bend it. I'm gonna cuss here in a minute. Oh, okay, I'm back. Anyway, even when she's here, I think that might be where I got the 3,000 a night, during the night. So even in that instance, if it's sun's out all day, I think, and I don't know on the panels. Once we get some really clear side, I want to see the input of these panels on my roof. The way that my roof structure is, where he had to put the panels, they get partial shading, and they shouldn't. Like the ones on the garage, it puts out uh, more than this is what I'm seeing right now. So I want to see. Hey, Daniel, but um, the I think it's I know it is. Like I said, I saw that, and when I did the calculations on the batteries, I'm really happy with the batteries. I was nervous when I got them because I didn't know whether the guy was a scam or not, but it seems like he's a. It doesn't even seem like he is a legit guy. I want to give him a good thing on his Facebook page and stuff. But he's not used to shipping them, and there was a problem with he didn't really know what what it was going to cost and that kind of stuff. I ended up only paying 800 baht more than I thought I was because the batteries actually went to Buriram, and then they charged me 800 baht to get them from Buriram to here, the delivery people. So he's used to people just coming there and picking them up. They're very reasonable and they're very nicely made. And hopefully, I'll get a video out and try to work on it today from Ubon and here, kind of combine it into one. Just call it solar, solar video, and you'll see the batteries. Very nice, very well made, and I'm happy. So looking at that and watching that battery on, and I was like I said, I wake up every hour, hour and a half all night long anyway. So I'm looking at it, at midnight, 1 o'clock, and it's still showing, 48%, and I'm going, yeah, this is what I want to see. So between the solar in the garage, the solar here, and the solar in Ubon, even during the cloudy season, the rainy season, like seeing now, I think I'm still going to maybe be, instead of like I could possibly be without it, 16,000, 15,000 baht here, and 4,000 there with no one even there in Ubon, close to 20,000 baht. And people ask me, why did you get these solar? What's the payback? I don't know, and I don't care. Like I said, I want to see 3,000 even would be fine for everything. I'd be happy. But and I think I'm going to see. I won't see zero here because, like I said, the showers. Hey, brother, how you doing? The the showers, the electric hot water heaters, they are still on the grid. And why it won't take that, I'm going to check into that too, because I just can't see it unless all the air conditioners, excuse me, are coming on at the same time, and then the shower, and I don't know, or two people are in the shower at the same time, which could possibly be happening. But I want to check into it a little bit more, because if I can get away with running just one, then I'll just tell, hey, mom, dad, my wife, and my daughter, you guys talk to each other. And if somebody's going to take a shower, don't take one, you know, and either that or I'll solve the problem and just shut off the breaker and you won't have any hot water. So you guys figure it out. So I just think it should take at least one. I know they suck a hell of a lot of wattage on. It's a direct ground, a direct short is what basically is happening to heat the water. But when I saw that night before last and those batteries and saw the 1800, 2000 watt, 1500 watt through the night, I was real confident that that system is going to be cool. It'll be awesome. Like I said, I just throwing away that money, and like I said, it isn't even so much that it's like like I said, that my wife isn't going to pay if I croak, when I die. She isn't going to pay 15,000 baht a month for electricity. It ain't going to happen. She'll either just shut it all off or she'll do something, you know. But in that 3,000 baht range, that she'll have plenty of money for that, because she's got my one. The big kicker is when I croak, and one of my retirements, I took a cut in taking now so that she could get. It's almost 1.5 times or 2 times her salary that she makes working. So she's set. So it's very easy for me. I think, uh, I'm very grateful that I could do that. And a lot of people say, well, you're doing this and you're building her that. And she deserves everything that she gets, that woman. And I've said it many times. Hey, Kenny, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. Here she knew me for 5 months and ready to mortgage her property and sell her truck to keep me from dying when, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was. So the people that say that, I don't give a shit, but my wife's, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. But yeah, so I was just saying, Kenny, I put those two big batteries in there. For some reason, they didn't check. It has Bluetooth on it, and I'm sure your batteries do too. And the thing was showing 40 amp hours, and it was communicating with the Lux Power 12 kW inverter, and it was showing 40 amp hours. And I'm going, this just isn't right. It's not working. That nothing was right. None of the percentages of the battery were right. Nothing was right. So I called up the battery people, got the password to the BMS, went in there, changed it to 314 amp hours, and man, and it just took off and everything started meshing together. And I was only 82% running between 2 and 3,000 watts through the night. I was up almost every hour, and I ran that battery down to like 8-10% or something instead of 15. And it went all night. Never used the grid, never used nothing. The only problem is yesterday with the overcast, and it's pretty overcast today here, it only charged the battery up to like 42%. So the battery was done at 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I'm very confident that the bills during the rainy season are going to be, for me anyway, I think they're still going to be zero for you. And yours are probably not because you but I've got my hot water heaters are on the grid because they overload the system, and I got to check into that because I'm going to have to do the programming. I can tell that already. So it's really easy because you can do it from the app. The app is pretty awesome, pretty typical of what you see. You can't see it that clearly, but the house, and it shows the grid and what's coming from the deal. Right now, I'm only getting 850 watts, from the panels. So, but like I said, even with the hot water heaters going, I'm going to say that my bills, I'm hoping again, but I'm real confident about it, is the during the rainy season and during the overcast stuff, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,500 baht a month here, zero in Ubon, and during the sunny time, come October now or whatever, I'm really confident it's going to be below 1,000. 800, 500, 900, something like that, and I'd be ecstatic. The inverter I got was, I can show it to you. I just have the land up. Let me get rid of that. Let me go up here. It was at 40,000 baht just for the inverter, but the inverter's got two NPPT controllers in it. It takes two strings of solar panels, and it's 12 kW. It was awesome. Lux, you can look it up. I'm not going to pull it up. Lux Power, LUXPOWER, 12 kW. They're huge. Thing is like, it probably weighs 200 pounds. It's big. I'm going to try to do the video today and put them both together from Ubon and the house. But I am really happy with he had put one in. That's why he wanted to use this one. And basically, if I would have bought the other one, I would have bought probably two sixes or whatever, and those were 10 each. So I paid twice as much money, but I saved the money because I took the two that I didn't really save, but I didn't have to spend out of pocket. I took the two that were here to Ubon, so it worked out. I ended up spending 90,000 for just the two batteries, but I'm really happy with the batteries. The batteries are really nice, well made, great BMS, color, touchscreen. They're really nice. Hey, Tip, how you doing? But it's a 12 kW, but it's still, like I said, he just took them off because he didn't want, he's out working in like Udon today or something. He's all over the place, and I think he doesn't want a problem where I go down or something. So he took all three of the hot water heaters off, and the only thing that I could think, I'm going to try when he's here, next, which I think will be Wednesday, he's coming to tie in, move some power lines for me so I can open up an opening between this property and the new property with a gate. So he's got to move it because his power is going across there. Anyway, when he comes, I'm going to say, I want you to put one on, okay, and I want to put it on and see if it overloads it. And if it doesn't, then I'm just going to have to tell my wife, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and the daughters, hey, you guys can't just jump in the shower whenever you want. You can jump in the shower whenever you want, but you need to talk to your mother, talk to your grandmother and grandfather, and make sure they're not saying, I'm taking a shower, I'll be out in 15 minutes, I'll let you know, whatever. They should be capable of doing that. Then I shouldn't have to shut them down. I really don't want to suck anything off the grid. I'm hoping. Anyway, we'll see. I'm having actually my third cup of coffee today. I don't think that's really good for me. And for some reason, I got to see if I can get that's the front part. So he was supposed to come. I said it earlier, but he was supposed to come on yesterday and give me a price on the big giant gate that's going in the front across the road there, and and he didn't show. But yeah, that I paid him for the other one. I think I made a mistake on doing that. Let's see if there it is. Someone's out there, or was. Looks like my father-in-law, maybe. Watering stuff, even though it rained like hell last night. He's out there watering crap. Doesn't make any sense to me, but what do I know, right? Anyway, it's frozen for some reason. But anyway, there he was. That when he started walking, right? Saw him move. Anyway, really happy with that, with the batteries. And like I said, 43,000 with just a 6-month warranty or something. 45,000 for each battery with a 1 year, and 48,000 for the battery with a 5-year warranty on them. But like I said, I was nervous, and the guy, we were not at each other's throat, but I was getting nervous. They said they shipped them, they didn't ship them. Well, what it was that I come to find out is they didn't know, they don't ship them. He finally came clean and said, we don't ship usually, you know. I didn't want to lose 2 batteries, and that guy said, I understand, but I gave you 90,000 baht. I'm ready to come to Bangkok and go to blows, you know. I'm not going to just turn around and walk away from 100,000 baht. I didn't tell him that. But yeah, as it turned out, he was on the up and up. He told me, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And I guess I didn't have to, but I was. So I was happy to get them. I'm happy with the quality. They're really nice batteries. I'll have to do that video. It's all in my GoPro. I just need to, when I get done with this live stream, I need to pull that card out and do a quick video, solar video. The fence video, I think I had one thing left, just basically showing them putting up the metal. Now all the metal's up, and I don't have any video. I'll kind of throw that in as just a little. And here's the fence done, and then it is. I mean, there's 3 pieces of steel on there. Put it up, screw it in, dig a trench, set it down 30 or 40 centimeters, screw it in, and go. And it looks great. I mean, you can. Let's see if I can. That's the biggest one I've got, I think. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. But I like that scallop features. This is just roofing stuff. I like the way it looks. The painted, it's nice, and it even looks good on the other side coming as you're coming down the road. But really happy with the way it turned out. You can see it going. If you look all the way over on the right, the edge of the man cave, you can see the fence going down there, goes behind the garage and up. So all I need to do is just finish the front fence here, and I'm done with that project. So hopefully I can get it done. And there's my father-in-law. Is he watering something? No. Let me change it back to the other one. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place today. But again, super excited and happy with the solar here in sort of. I've been happy with the garage. I think Kenny is um, happy with his. I don't think if he's still here, maybe he'll answer, or maybe he's going to do a video. Hey Jake, how you doing? Um, but I think, I don't know. Like I said, I was up all night and I watched mine. One of the girls was in college, but the oldest was there. My mother and father-in-law, me and my wife. My air conditioner stays on all night. I know my daughter runs it, and I'm pretty sure my mother and father-in-law, and they don't run it as much. They get cold and turn it way up. Uh, and but mine was hovering 18, 2000, and that included whatever was coming on and off with the ice machine and the refrigerator and all that crap. But I'm really happy and optimistic that it's finally going to work the way it should. I put an extra 190,000 or whatever more, 90 plus 40. I put back into that. But like then again, I took the two controllers off of there and I used them in Ubon with a bunch of other stuff. So saved a little bit, spent a little bit, but as long as I get what I wanted, which is I don't, if I have the hot water heaters on there even during the overcast stuff, like right now it's really overcast. Let's see what the let's see what it's putting out real quick. Um just let it update. And what I liked about this program too, this program you can do every adjustment that you can do on the front panel of that thing from your phone or your iPad, or you could plug in your computer. 1635, and right now it's charging the battery. So we'll see. Um, but we'll see what it is. I usually don't get that much on the house until 9:30, 10 o'clock, because like I said, the way that they're where he had to mount them, he didn't have a bunch of choices. But I can move them and reinforce the, especially when we build the 2 bedroom, I can load that roof up with solar panels. So if I do that, I'm going to get a lot better, and it'll only get better. But like I said, the way that they're out in the house, they're not ideal. Yeah, you were saying daily rain still only went to the grid automatically one time. Mostly cloudy yesterday and all 4 battery. Yeah, like I said, I've only had it. Like I said, when it first came, I looked at it and said this isn't right. And of course, he doesn't. It's the Thai people, man. They don't want any kind of confrontation. You can't call up the battery people and say, "Hey, this thing ain't right." I had no problem doing that. Hey, something's wrong here. You program. Oh, it got out and we didn't reset the. Blah. I said, well, give me the password to the BMS and the name of it, and I pulled up the app and opened it up and put in the password, and boom, changed it to 314 amp hours each, and the thing took off and ran. The communication was there. The battery, I think you said you were having problems with it not reading the same percentage of battery. That's what this was doing. As soon as I dialed all that stuff in and it started communicating with the new information, it started leveling itself out on percentage. Um, and like I said, really, really happy. But it just Thai people just don't like confrontation, and I'm not going to be, go crazy or jump up and down. Hey, brother, how you doing? Morning to you, Aaron. Uh, Great timing on new grass. No rain for 2 months. Yeah, I know. And the way mine shows heavy rain here every day, but it rained last night, and I'd be surprised if we get a sprinkle on and off all day. No battery. Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said. My batteries were. Once I got that information in there, and it just so happened it was fairly sunny that day. The battery got up to 82%, and I watched it all night long. I had to change it because what the program that it's set at now for UPS to keep a certain amount, it runs down to 15%, and I can change that. And then it'll start going wherever else it's going to go. Would be the grid, and I ran it down to like 10%, and because it was getting early in the morning, I said, man, I just want to see this battery, go through it. And then yesterday, it was overcast like this, and trying to come back from like 10%, it was struggling, and no, didn't use any grid all day long, and still went from about 10% up to about 42% before at 5:30, 6 o'clock when the sun went down, and it just it petered out 10, 11, 12 o'clock, whatever it was. I didn't even look. I said it's going to do whatever it's going to do. No, I don't. Did you get him to work correctly? Because my guy knows, because that Lux Power, they tell you, for the comm deal, you need to have the second pin and the fifth pin and this pin and that pin, and they have videos and all sorts of stuff on it. And obviously he got it correct, but I know you were having problems with it. I know you were having problems. But if you've got it right, I'd like to plug it in. But I know it's a special cable, right? The pins aren't exactly like just a Cat 5 cable or something. I don't think, anyway. I don't know. But this inverter is impressive. I can see why they get 40,000 baht for it. But it isn't like way out in left field, because but with the two inverters and the way it is, and like I said, the separate controllers and everything, and the stuff that it does, it's pretty amazing. Or I'm impressed. I'm easily impressed, I guess. I don't know. Let me take a sip of my Coke. Did you get yours to work? All right, Andy. I know I've seen you someplace else. I think it was on the channel talking on the Gotta Love Thailand thing, and you're getting ready to go somewhere in a couple months. The wife's going to have was it hip surgery or something? Hopefully everything works out. Tell her she's in my prayers. But I know you're getting ready for another vacation. If you guys aren't subscribed to Andy's, I don't know if he's got a YouTube. I think you do, but his Instagram and all that, he does great documentation and pictures, amazing on his trips. So definitely hit him up. Self cleaning now, but it is pretty dirty, isn't it? Self stirring. But let's see. Tommy, I think, is here. Tommy, you here? I was supposed to get the e-bike on Friday. Okay. Well, what the lady said in China, she said, if you don't get it on Friday, you'll get it on Monday or Tuesday. The company that is going to be taking it from Bangkok to you, they don't work on the weekends. My phone rang yesterday, okay, or Friday, and my wife happened to be there, so I handed it to her, and she talked to him, or Saturday, I can't remember, Saturday morning, maybe it was yesterday, and a lady was on there, and she told her, oh, okay, and then my wife hung up. I said, call her back. Are they going to deliver it? When are they going to? What is she doing? And she called her back again, not wanting to, because you don't ask questions in Thailand. And the lady said, well, yeah, you'll be getting another call and a delivery very, very soon. Okay. So that was good enough. So I'm hoping Monday. I'm guessing Tuesday. I've got pretty much everything. The trailer's here. I've got the linear deal to lift the panel and everything. I've got some metal cut that I've got to weld on to the trailer. I've been practicing my my welding techniques with okay success, but not great. But I'm hoping I have it on tomorrow. Today's Sunday, right? Am I screwed up again on days? I think today's Sunday. Today's Sunday. So yeah, that's what else I'm supposed to do. I should take my medication. Oh, Aaron, my wife went for me yesterday. I was out in the garage doing stuff on the trailer and the other stuff, and she said we're going to go into town. I found the paper that the post office sent us. I said, "Oh, good." She said, "I'll go. I'll take your passport. We're going out anyway, and I'll pick it up for you." I said, "Oh, that'd be awesome." The the blue that stuff, and the he gets home yesterday, and I said, "Oh, did you get it?" No, well, not exactly. I said, "What does not exactly mean?" I, it's not there. We waited too long, and they sent it back. But my wife said, "Where is it?" And she said, "It's in Bangkok." How much will it cost us to send it back here for us to pick it up? She said 100 baht. So they're sending it back from Bangkok back to Surin, and then we can go and pick it up. I'm imagining Tuesday, I'm guessing, maybe. I don't know, maybe Monday. Might even be there now. I don't know. I guess it depends on what they're doing. So hopefully I'm going to have it by Monday. I want to try it, man. I've been jonesing. In fact, I've almost used this and said, you know what, one or two times isn't going to kill me. But rather than, yeah, no shit. Just me. Because I didn't need that paper. I mean, I could have went and had my passport, and I'm sure convinced them that I'm Dave Clark. Here it is. You know, I'm sure I could have done it, and just my wife. But like I said, I don't like going places like that when I don't have anybody that speaks Thai and can understand speaks English, and because I'm worried I'm going to get frustrated. I'm not even worried. I know I'm going to get frustrated. I'm definitely going to use it. I just got it. Like I said, it's got to be the diabetes with me. So I've got to start eating better and watching that kind of stuff, and then trying this and see what happens. I'd like to get off the blood pressure medication. From what my understanding is, this stuff's supposed to lower your blood pressure, clear the brain fog out of your brain, and give you energy and shit. If I could just feel that energy once, boy, I'd be. If I take this stuff, I'll never stop taking it if it gives me any kind of energy. I mean, and I'm talking energy to get out of bed and want to put on clothes and go somewhere. I mean, I'm not asking that I want to, join a marathon or something. I just want to have the energy to go, I got to go do this. So hopefully I'll see it. You're on soft foods for the next 3 weeks. What is soft foods? Is that like whatever you put in a blender? The steak go in a blender? Yeah, I don't remember. Let's see. I've been taking 5 direct daily. Think upping it to 10. How you feeling, Ralph? You feel any better? You feel any energy? You feel that your mind is clearer? Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 5 drops a day. I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to click it up to 10, 5 twice a day. 5 in the morning when I get up, and 5 at like 1 o'clock, lunchtime. The people that I did see on there said they took it later and it kept them up. And I go, God, I'd give anything to keep me up past 8 o'clock. I'd jump up and down. So maybe I might want to take it, a little later. But that's the way I'm figuring on trying it. Five drops in the morning to start for maybe a week or two, and then how I feel, and then up it to 10. Really cool. Yeah, I got to do it. I'll be starting as soon as I get it in my hot little hands. And I'm. What do you take it with, Ralph? Some of them said mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, enchilada. Oh, really? Okay. Nothing. Oh, that's right. You got the teeth deal. That's right. I got to talk to you about that too. Um, some of them said orange juice is good. A little shot of orange juice. Uh, did you? Is it? There's no taste to it, right? I don't even know. Or Aaron probably knows too. But somebody said orange juice is a good deal. Well, Kenny, it looks like he said that he started to decline because he went off his routine. So, and some of were you taking it 7 days a week, Ralph, or were you taking it only Monday through Friday? I'd like to know that. Kenny, you don't need it. He's got enough going on. Didn't think when I missed a week, I noticed the fog coming back. Cool. What about energy? Did it every day, 7 days? That's what I'm thinking too. Some people saying 7 days, some people saying five, some people saying 2 or 3 days. I think every day, unless it's, like I said, I don't think, it's not like you're taking half a freaking bottle a day, you know. Everything that I saw on the internet said in low dosages, they've had the best results in low dosages, and they don't see any kind of real problems uh, um, at low dosage. So that's what Kenny needs. It's totally different kind of experience. What did, there's a couple of drops of clear what window pane? I haven't heard that word in a long time. We used to get it blotter stuff, window pane uh, on a blotter, and I don't know if I ever told you guys the first time that I took acid. The guy, my knee is killing me. Ah, oh, oh, yeah. Um, the guy that got it for me was I guess my drug dealer, and I took downers and shit back in the day, and stuff, whatever we cross tops, black beauties, whatever I get my hand on. Uh, but the first time that we tried it, or I tried it, um, the guy said, cut it into 4 quarters, take a quarter, and you're set. I said, okay. So I took a quarter, waited like, 15 minutes, took another quarter, waited 10 more minutes, took the other half, and sure enough, an hour later, boy, I'll tell you, I was I was seeing things that I didn't think was possible. The only thing I didn't like about that peyote, mescaline, any kind of hallucinogenic, I didn't like not being in control of being able to say no, I'm not. Stop that. I didn't like that. So my acid and psychedelic um, drug use was a month or two, and I was done. But uh, but I still want to try the edibles. I really used to like my weed when I was a kid. Not anymore. Yeah, exactly. Who dropped it exactly? And uh, uh, a lot of it. We were like in besides Frisco, in L.A. or in Southern California. We got all the drugs like first, when they came down the pipeline, and I wasn't one to shy away from uh, trying drugs anyway. You could play hell trying to get me to eat like uni or something, food, but to try drugs, yeah, pink ladies, yeah. I mean, when I was in sixth grade, I was talking girls into going through their mom and dad. Back then, Mama's Little Helpers was Valium, and then it changed over. I think most of them use now that what is it called? That one for anxiety too, whatever. Uh, and they bring me pills for mom and dad, being good, nice girls that they were. Sixth grade, you know. They said, "What about other stuff?" I said, "I don't know. Just grab it all. I'll figure it out when you get here." Yeah, bars, Xanax. Yeah, the bars were the illegal stuff. Xanax, because when I couldn't sleep, I still can't sleep, and then they tried all the stuff that's supposed to melatonin and then all the the ones that they make after whatever for sleeping. Nothing worked. And when I was riding, I'd be up for 2 days or something, and couldn't go to sleep and just wanted to sleep. I used to take. They used to come in four section bars, and I took those and knocked me out for like 12 hours straight. And Of course, I was exhausted. I was up for 2.5 days running around doing everybody else's shit. But it was fun. I had a good time. But so I told my doctor that. He said, well, they're not for sleeping. I said, I don't give a shit what they're for. I'm telling you, I found something that actually works. So he gave me them for a while. And then supposedly when you get on Xanax, it's hard to get off. I didn't have a problem. I just stopped. And I don't know why I stopped. I look back on it because they had what, quarter, half, and full, whatever. I had the biggest white, yellow. They had different colors on the one. Whatever the strongest ones were, he was giving me those. But I haven't tried them in a long time. Hey, Daryl, how you doing? I think the drugs now they use are a lot different than they did back then. Well, I know the weed is, but yeah, and ludes, yeah. What were they? 714s? Is my mind that sharp enough that I remember? They used to come in by the thousands out of Mexico, and they were the drug of choice for pretty much everybody. Male, female, didn't make a difference. And then they were they 714s? I think they were. Greg will remember. But that was good. My drug of choice for pain is now my mind's gonna go Percocet, and that was what Dennis gave for years and years and years until all of a sudden it became a three copied prescription no. But it was I really that was one that worked. I took it and it took the pain away. Norcos and Vicodin did to a certain extent, but if I had my choice, I'd take Percodan or Percocet any day of the week. This turned into the drug channel, didn't it? That quick. But but I haven't done in years and years and years. But I do want to try the edibles. I got to go before they close everything down. I still don't know what they're doing. I haven't checked in a while. I'm sure they've got some dispensaries here in town and go over and get a cookie, a brownie, a gummy or something and try it. Yeah, I think it was 714s, right? My mind. I couldn't tell you what I ate for lunch yesterday, but I could remember what drugs I took in the 70s. Vicodin, Darvocet. Yeah, I can tell you a good Darvocet if you guys want to hear. Darvocet. So I go in, I've got a crick in my neck, where you can't move, which everybody gets. I was going on 3 days, man, and I hadn't slept. So I went into the doctor, and he goes, "What?" I said, "Man, I need something for the pain, muscle, something, anything." So he gave me Darvocet, right? And I showed up the next morning. He used to come in. I think I knew he got there at like 9 o'clock, and I was there at like 8:30 in front of his office, right, or where his car was parked. And he's looking at me, and I'm standing there like this, right? Because I tried to sleep, and what I would do is I would take a pillow, sit on the couch, and lean into the pillow, and and I'd sleep for like 15 minutes or something. And so he looks at me and he goes, what's the matter, Dave? And I said, man, these things, they're not working, Doc. I got to get some freaking sleep. It's been 3 days. And he goes, well, you didn't need to come here. Just take double the dosage. I said, no, the 30 you gave me, they're gone. No more drugs in here. And he ended up giving me, I think he gave me Percocet. And when he gave me the Percocet, I took one of those and I fell asleep in that pillow, woke up like 4 or 5 hours later going, oh, thank God, my neck, I could kind of move my head. But you should have seen the look on his face when I took that bottle on and shook it and there was nothing in there. I think he gave me 30 of the Darvocet. Ibuprofen. One ibuprofen. USL won't sell it. Rebranded it. Yeah, anything that I know that they in the U.S. Anything that had any kind of Vicodin or any kind of opiate. I don't know what that one that you said that I can't even pronounce it. Paracetamol or something. If it's got any kind of opiates in it, they just went crazy and shut everything down. I mean, my doctor still gave them to me. And when I went to Costa Rica for a year, I had bottles of them because I wouldn't take them all the time. All I did was take them just to so I could sleep for a little while, take the pain out of my knees because my knees are bone on bone, and just take it away. So he was giving me 90 of them a month, and I'd take like maybe five. So I was giving them away. A lot of people wanted them, obviously. And then when I came to Thailand, I had three bottles of it. And I think the three bottles that I was giving those out to relatives or whatever that said I still give my little low dose whatever that tramadol out. I don't take that. Last time I took it was probably a month ago, and he for 3 months I think he gives me 30 for 3 months, so he doesn't give me many of those. But I would just take them just to take the edge off, so I could just become part of the couch, watch a Netflix movie or something. And so I've been really good with drugs ever since the '90s or whatever when I stopped completely. So we'll see. Let's see. Saw yesterday they have closed. Really? Yeah, and I don't. According to what I hear, this is just what I've heard. Make sure you check your own thing. Is they have to go through the right strokes to actually do what they want to do, and that's change it over back to a narcotic and back to only for medical. They have to. They can't just say, "Oh yeah, we want to do this." Okay, this is only what I heard. But and they haven't done that from what I understand. And until they do it, it's not really legal for them to close down or do anything with anybody, I guess. I guess they can do whatever they want to, right? But I do want to go and get some gummies. Is that the one on drugs? um, but I do want to try the gummies just for the hell of it. Just have something that I don't drink. If like I said, I'm not. You'll never see me intoxicated. Luckily, I have the ability to drink one or two margaritas with Mexican food, and on my third go, oh, no, bring me a soda water and lime or something, or a Coke Zero or whatever, which a lot of people don't have the ability to do. And I'm saying 80 or 90% of my buddies that I hung out with were all alcoholics, and 70% of them are dead. So somebody that comes over and goes, "Oh, it doesn't shorten your lifespan," bullshit. George Burns is my hero, but on the most part, abusing alcohol like that shortens your lifespan. Just me. Um, the Tylenol, the Tylenol was made with. They rebranded it within the UK. So it is a opiate then. It must be. Uh, the tramadols work for me if I take two and only for one day. If I try to take two the next day, my body says, "What? You're going to need at least four to get to this, to get to the level you want to now, pal." So I don't go down that road. So once in a blue moon, like I said, I'll take. If I'm going to take it at night, like I'm having a problem with a little bit of pain keeping me awake more than than I already do, I'll take one, and sometimes that'll let me sleep through a little bit. But all of your running mates are gone, man. Like I'm going to be 69. And I look at myself now and go, God, who's the old bastard on YouTube right now? But I guess I could look a lot worse. I've seen a lot worse and I've seen a lot better because I think Craig is my age and he looks way better than I do. But I'm still kicking. I'm still alive. I need to take better care of myself. I do want to hope that this stuff will work, and I do need to get the sugar thing and the diabetes and try to get that down. I did buy one of those watches because I want to know how far I walk. It gives blood oxygen. This one happens to give um, uh, diabetes, stuff painless, but everybody says it's not a science. It doesn't work correctly. But I'm just thinking, hey, if my blood sugar goes crazy, maybe it'll show a spike or something. But more so for I'm going to get on the e-bike and ride that, and my heart rate and all that kind of stuff. It downloads into my phone and all that. So we'll have to see. So what is tramadol then? Tramadol, I heard, was an opiate. Sold in 7-Eleven. Uh, Tramadol, I was told, was the lowest form of opiate that they have. And I don't even know, do they have Vicodin here? I haven't had anybody, I haven't really went in and said, hey, I've got some real bad pain. I need some real drugs. Um, how come Jake hasn't said anything? Hey, Bear, come here. Jake might be awake. Oh, he went to sleep. Yes, tramadol is an opiate. The opiate, tramadol, yeah. Um, and like I said, with Blue Moon, the ones who use it, like I said, I think I either get 30 or 60. I only go in fact, I got to go to the doctor, I think the 28th of this month, every 3 months. And he gives me 3 months supply of everything. And then my wife's one drug that she takes, and it costs me 30,000 baht, and I get back like 28,000 baht. So, like I said, for me to have the insurance that I have through my wife, we go in every time they give us a blood test. We both see the doctor. We both do everything, and it costs me like 1,500 baht a month for all my drugs and the blood test and seeing the doctor every 3 months. So I think he gives me like either 30 or 60. I don't even look anymore. When I want one, I'll take it. But for the ants and stuff, here they can't afford, I don't think, to probably buy them if they got them prescribed. But they have a bad shoulder or back from leaning over in the rice fields for 100 years, and they'll, if they know or my wife's around, they'll hit her up, and she'll dole them out to let them live a little bit. No, oh, okay, all right. So you did drug discussion, so you couldn't go to sleep. Yeah, Bear went to sleep. Can you? Oh, you can see him. Can't see his head, but you can see him. Bear, Bear boy. There he is. What a good looking boy. But like I said, I would like to try the gummies. Tramadol causes after effects though, like sleeplessness and lack of energy. Yeah, I don't. I was taking, what do they call them? Norcos, the strongest ones, the 1000s, the yellow ones. Um, and I think I was taking them more to get high than to take any pain away. And then when I stopped taking them, of course, I didn't tell my doctor. I just kept getting bottles and bottles of 90 each. And then my nephew and some of the people that couldn't afford to, and were in real bad back pain and stuff, we'd give them away or whatever. Um, yeah, he doesn't come and see me because the girls have been in heat again. So we're probably going to have 15 labs again. Anybody that wants a lab, I know my wife's going to sell them again, but anybody on here that wants a lab, we can make an arrangement. Yeah, I just can't see how they could do it, man. I mean, you got a lot of guys that, first of all, I think even the guys with big drug money that came in that wanted to, you know, big buildings, indoor system, real legit facilities. I think they had like Thai partners, more than likely. And they're talking about closing down all these places. These people did the right thing. They had the right paperwork. They did the right deal. They made all the stuff. They did exactly what the government told them to do. And now the government's going to come in and go, see you. I just can't see it happening. Is it going to? Probably. But from what I understand, they can't do it the way that they're trying to do it now. They need to go through their parliament or their voting or whatever they got to do. They can't just go, okay, we're changing this and doing this. But like I said, the cops can't do a lot of stuff in the United States that they do anyway too. So, but caffeine, that's pretty much me too, brother. I mean, I will have a beer. Like I said, I'm just lucky that I can meet up with somebody's coming through Surin. We can go out and have a beer and whatever, or 2 beers, and then my third one's a soda water. And I'm lucky that I could do that because 90% of my friends couldn't do that. They either stopped and they couldn't do it because they'd start drinking again, or they would just continue on until they passed out. So it's it's hard, man. I'm trying to think of, George and Johnny and Billy and Eric and Steve. These are all just right off the top of my head. That's five. All alcoholics, all dead, and young, 48, 45, 55, 60. I mean, to me, if I said that was young when I was like 30, I'm going, who's that old bastard? That guy's got to be close to 50 years old. But now I look back on it and I'm going, man, I'm getting close to 70. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to go. I'm gathering. I'm a lot like my mother, okay, in both uh, everything, okay, and I think she was 91, and she had pretty good on everything until she was like 88. She drove every morning and went to church every day and got the communion and went to the hospital and gave out communion, and no one dies alone. She was ahead of that, and that was going into the local hospitals, and anybody that didn't have relatives or whatever, sitting down and talking to them, reading them. She did all that stuff, and then she had she got bad, dementia, I guess, and whatever else. But so man, if I go 85, that's 15 years. I'd be happy with that. Now I'm gonna have to do it, Aaron, because my teeth suck. So that's why I said I got to talk to you if you're still listening. But uh, you know, I got to get something done with that. When this one was dying, um, they were getting real bad, and I just neglected them. And then afterwards, I think I was. I mean, I think I'm still depressed, but I was really bad when it first happened, and I just didn't care about anything and didn't give a shit. So it didn't take up until now. My wife now wants me to hang out for a little while, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna try to live a few years, I guess. Uh, what did Kenny say? As often as a clone fact, what did I miss around? Did a lot of missionary work when I was uh, yeah, you're just same as what I'm thinking. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, for me, I'm happy with my life. I've, did it go exactly, the way that I had planned? Hell no. When she died, it was like, man, I just shook my head and said, God, if there is a God there, you've got the most incredible sense of humor in the world. And I just, but like I said, as it turned out, I look back on it and the things that uh, were happening to my wife back then. I think there was more than just the leukemia. There was something else going on with her, and I think she knew that it would be better off if she was just gone. She was going to be a burden, like something I would think. But I never talked to her about it or anything like that. But there was something else. There was some underlying stuff that if she would have beat that cancer, there was something else that was going to drag her down. So like I said, man, she didn't cry. I seen one little tear. That was it. She knew she was going. Her religion helped. I said, "Are you scared?" Nope. I know where I'm going. You in any pain? No, I'm okay. Because in the end, I just told them, give her as much as possible to keep her, but I don't want her to be. I want her to be lucid. The last couple of days she has. I don't want her to be out in la la land. And it was. They kept her a little on the high side, which was okay. When she went real comfortably. Everybody was in the room. They said, "Go home, get your horses, dogs, or whatever." I can't say enough about Stanford. Just a top notch. They were the best in the world for leukemia, and like I said, man, they were just. She had nurses and doctors and everything, and she was never a number in there, never a number. And the day when they came in and they told us, it could last a couple of days, maybe a week, and the next day they came in the one day, one after another, nurses, doctors, everything. came in and said goodbye to my wife. Hi, Mrs. Clark. It's been a pleasure. Blah blah blah. Just a top notch, freaking high class uh, joint, and the care was unbelievable. Price was unbelievable too, but I think she knew, and like I said, my wife now, she prayed to her when I was in the hospital, and there's never ever been any jealousy when I go on. Her birthday's coming up, or the day she died is coming up in September. Her birthday's in October. Uh, I put stuff on her Facebook page. Never get any kind of slack or any kind of eyebrows raised or any kind of jealousy whatsoever, which is just freaking awesome. Of course, I've told you my wife is is awesome, and she thinks that this would help. And I said, well, the only luck that I had in the whole world was when I picked her. The rest of them were real winners. The other two wives and all the girlfriends. I said I wasn't very good at picking them, so I'd have to tend to believe that maybe she did help you and me find each other, and she believes that. And I tell you the truth, I kind of do too. So do I still mourn her? Yeah, it's going to be 7 years this year, and but it's gotten easier. I shouldn't say easier. The pain is still there. It never goes away, in case anybody is looking at this and wondering if they just lost a significant other. It doesn't go away, and you just learn how to manage it better. So we'll get off that subject. Is Kenny leaving? Where'd he go? Okay, getting late. Things to do. All right, Kenny. Thanks for stopping by. You're not already gone. But yeah, so uh, on me, on this frontier, did I drink? I drank my coffee, right? Yes. I have a drink of Coke here. I have to take my medicine too. Uh, I'm really happy with the. When I get done with this, um, I'll grab my GoPro, get the card out of it, and I'll do a video and kind of combine it all. The end of the fence, the the solar that we put in Ubon, and the solar that we changed out here, and I'll even do a little dialogue on there to explain to people exactly what's going on before it starts, so they'll know. Everybody here pretty much knows. But happy as hell with the batteries. Expensive as hell, but man, they're going to work to where I'm getting down to where I want the electric bill to be. And I think that we'll find out here in the next couple of months, because we ended up putting in a new bond in the middle of the month, getting these batteries in the middle of the month. But it still should show. But like I said, with it is now, let's just see what what it what it's bringing in. It's just not enough to bring in and charge the batteries, but it will be come October or whatever when the sun's out. Now we're only getting 1,000 watts, and the battery's up to 20%, so it's trying to charge the battery. So we are using some grid right now, but from everything that I see, like now, it's even at half the month doing it the way it is here. I still should see a lower drop in the electric bill. And Ubon, I'm hoping that I should see something there too. But like I said, the following month, after the 28th of this month to the 28th of, what are we in now? August? The 28th of September should be the bill that I'll be really looking at closely. So, all right, Jake, take it easy. I'm not going to go real long either. Yeah, she is. She's a good one. That's for sure. Let's see. We still got 13, lucky 13 in here.